Hello again, people. So as I said, this game's starting to get more unstable. So I'm going to load up this level again, and this time around, we're just going to try and um finish it. I don't care too much about killing demons or all that. I don't have the ammo for it. What I want to also do is shoot the door. I'm assuming that's going to do something, maybe. Like if I shoot you. No. How did it open before? There was a way this opened. I saw it open. Like I'm game. I really don't like clicking with this. I'm trying to figure out how to get around here or get something to open. That's if I wasn't just crazy and saw something that really didn't exist. You know what it might be? It might be that switch in the other area you run across or something. I don't even know. I just want to get out of this level. Been through it, and it's a pain in the butt level to get through. I hate it. How do I get out here? I hate this level so much. Not fun. It's big. It's barren. Well, it isn't barren, but you get what I mean. It has an annoying secret area I don't know how to open for the life of me. Wait, a blue door. Of course, that's why it was a blue key before. I gotta remember how to get there. God, I hate the secret area. It's tormented me because I could have sworn I opened it before. So it's like, how did I open it? Can it even be opened? Or was it just a trick of the lighting or something? I don't even know. That's the hard part, is the fact that I don't know if it's stable. You know, I'd spend hours here, if I knew it was actually a functional secret. But how can I be sure of that in a beta version of the game? An alpha version? Heck, there's a lot of walls and doors and stuff like that there. And there's when you start the level and walk backwards, you crash the game. With something like that, how am I supposed to, trust that it's stable everywhere else? Okay, so here's the blue key. Not really sure even what that does, or if anything. Let me have, like, this route. Just because. Maybe it'll reveal something, I don't know. I'm trying at this point just to get something. I think also it has something to do with the fact I'm running everywhere. That crashes the game. It seems when I run too much, it crashes. So I might want to be careful with running. I don't get it. I don't get the secret at all. I don't know if it can or can't be opened. I could have sworn I saw movement one time, but, because this is a beta, I can't trust it to be. I can't hump walls, really. Oh my god, I opened it! Apparently it is hugging that wall for some reason. I don't know how this works at all, but that is it. And this was completely pointless in my opinion. Wow. Well then, why on earth did I spend so much time getting in this little area? This really felt like a waste of time. Like, really? This is what I spent the entire session getting obsessed about, was that little room? Well, let's get out of here now that I figured out how to do that. Spent the entire time trying to figure that out. I still hate this level. My god, it's an annoying level. In terms of looks, in terms of length. Medium. Looks horrible. Glad it's not in the final version. Thank goodness I don't have to worry about this level beyond in that P-Rod or whatever. I recognize it from somewhere, so and I've never played Doom 0.5 really, so it can't be from here. I don't know where I've seen it, but I'm guessing I'll have to face it some point in the future eventually. So I'll groan and get through it, but at least it's nothing too current. So anyway, let's press this button and get out of here. Oh look, back here. Nope, not doing confinement area again. Um, that's it. 7. UNM4. Alright, so we already did 7. 8. UNM2, right? 6 UNM2. Looks like it. Somewhat. Kinda different, but kinda the same. Has the raised area at the start, and it's weird still. It's not exactly like UNM2, the final version, but it has things that look similar. Like there's a resurface over there. It is very, very small and basic. I'm assuming this is, UNM, UNM2. Yeah, it definitely is, because this is where the red key would be. And I can't open the backpack area, so there's nothing out there yet. So what's this about? Um, yeah, about that. I think this is like the beta version. Yeah, this is like what the Doom Zero dot the previous version had. Just like the previous John Romero level, there's really not much changed here. As in, we are going to mostly just navigate around a pretty empty level, and it's going to be something similar to what we've already seen. So it's like this, it will be the staircase leading all the way around, eventually lead to the final area. Somehow. Because it's like all this, I do not recognize at all. And then it's like you come here and you finally get to something recognizable. The bottom of the elevator. Even though it's not really the bottom of an elevator at all here. The bottom of this dual staircase. With a tunnel in the middle, for whatever reason. And we're practically done in, those corridors. We've already linked together most of this level. So there is, to my right, a lot of broken stuff. So, this way. Specifically, there's still the maze we have to deal with. I don't remember the maze being added in the last version, so I think that's something that's new here. And other than that, that's about it. So yeah, through the maze we go. Is it something like the... No, I think there was a maze. Had to be, because I remember some maze or something before. An early version of the maze. What's this, the area with the chainsaw? I must say it's the area with the chainsaw. It is! I want the chainsaw! Gimme! I want chainsaw! Get me chainsaw! How do I glitch up there? I want to get the chainsaw so badly right now. That's if it even functioned if I got up there. Probably why they don't let you get up there, because it probably is just a sprite that doesn't work. But yeah, there is a chainsaw area right now. And the maze is kind of circular in this one, in comparison to later where it's more square. Yeah. Definitely a tedious maze. And there's really no exit area to this map still. It's still like the last version. In fact, this is a lot like the last version with the chainsaw in the maze now. Because I don't remember that being there last time. Maybe it is, but... This is just never-ending series of corridors. Doom, the corridor simulator. And that's basically this. That basically is the entirety of this map. I don't see a way out of here, so I'm done. Oh, this is that level. That's this level. Alright, so... This is UNM6. I was mixed up UNM6 and UNM7. I get confused with Doom's levels. And what goes where. This still is the circular nukage area. Very much like the previous version. At this point in the thing, it looks like really we're just getting the same levels we did last time, but now in the new engine. Meaning quite simply that there's really not much to it. You know, you run all the way around, you get the door here. Die. And we're back here at the start. Yeah, this leads somewhere. Not sure the rhyme or reason of this, but let's go where this goes. It leads to a pool of slime that I can't get down. Amazing! Well, so glad we found this area, right? This really made the level. This was the most important area of the level. Hands down. So, where now? This away. Man, I can't wait to be done with all this. These levels are really looking samey. About 13 levels or so. And then there's like the E2M1, so we're getting almost done. Next will be level 10, so that way there's like 4 more levels altogether. And depending on how they are, they might be quick to blast through. I don't think I actually ran down here, did I? Then again, how would I know if I did or didn't? I look so samey, I can't even tell anymore. I'm lost. We've seen the red key area. Let me start heading this way. Bruising for a bruising halfway across the map. We'll run up the staircase. Doing things a bit differently than we did in the previous alpha. Because this is the area behind the yellow key area. And it comes out over here. So let's just check out this area quickly. Like we can walk around on the slime, but the slime doesn't even injure us. Now, damaging surfaces exist, but not really. That's the kind of thing. It's an advertised feature that damaging surfaces existed here. And they do, but not really like, consistent. This area is completely pointless. Congratulations, this area has been a waste of time. Let's start running this way. At least for the other map, I have some idea where I'm going. A little bit. This. These ways down here. Wonder where the enemies would be. This would be where the end of the map is normally, but of course, for whatever reason, they didn't do it here. Call this corridor back up. Not really is that. Basically this is a very incomplete version. Not much to really do besides run around the corridor base level again. Just like previous time. Not really sure of why this is contained like that, but one question. Not really sure about this area. But here's like the maze. And this time around we can actually make sure we're seeing all the areas of the maze because we have a freaking auto map. Here's our little side area here. And down all the areas around here. Yeah, I'm sorry people about my commentary. I'm starting to get very bored of this. Just trying to get through it quick, efficient, so we can get out of here and get to something more interesting. What's this way? Leads here. Where am I? Where in God's name am I? Corridor is down here. I go back. I go this way. This is unmapped. Hey, that's mapped. So really, it's just now getting out of the maze. That's the entirety of this maze, really. And it's like, we know that way, it's the container way, so what's down here? Just a dead end. Random dead end. Alright, so let's head back. We finished up this area. One more closer to freedom. Yay. So now we can start heading down this way. I think if we started continuing this way, we'd actually get right to the start. This is really the last area of this map. Then we're free from here. And this is simple. Yeah, that was that. Wow. Very small, very simple. Thank you for making it easy for me, game. Okay, so there's a plus and minus key. If I do that, that'll get me like the previous level. This gets me this level. So I can use the plus keys to actually navigate to the next level without having to go through the console commands. This is like level 10 without, having to type in 10, which of course doesn't work. This time around, we don't have to use DOS bots. This is even M3. This is definitely a level that we haven't seen before in alpha version. Luckily, E1M3 is pretty short of a level. So it's like we can quickly explore it without too long, especially since the end area doesn't even exist. We do have the secret area in here, which opens up and leads nowhere. Another little useless corner area. It doesn't open again. Wow. Don't enter the secret area or else you get trapped. Well, we learned that. In fact, because of the fact that we just explored everything on this side, we could basically restart it, and this time just not go that way. Not bother with, what's behind this door, right? I think so, yeah, I think we can ignore this whole side and just check out this way. Which is good, because that means one area done. No soul spear, just more. Of course, that might just be a template for it, or it might just be an urn, I'm not sure. Windows. Not the operating system either. Still have a button there to push. Here's our elevator. Ride it up. But yeah, it is definitely nice to have a functional GUI somewhat. Nothing, can't access it this way, can I? Want to get on it before it go, because otherwise I'd be stuck up there for a while. Here's our window where we can peek in and murder everyone. Hi there. Time to die. This is a little different of a platform than the final version. Very short and very claustrophobic still. And this is opened up, just like the final version. So we have our whole secret corridor area, like in the final version. Yeah, this is just an area in there. We don't really have a key to get this time around, so I'm not going to imagine this to be very complete besides just be an area for decoration. As you see, it's exactly what this is. A few pillars, it's like all that's over here. Congrats! You have made your way to the pillars. So with that in mind, let's head back and actually go up the staircase. Probably like, the final version, probably we have the secret areas over here. Yep, it raised, but we know how to get to a secret area, so, such a classic that Not difficult at all to know how to do this, even without any audio cues. Maybe you have to go all the way down. Too far. Too short. Hmm. Maybe a pain, aren't you? Let's try and run it. There we are. Wait a second for it to lower. Then we just do it. Now, just like the final version, press this button. You get this. Don't trust me on this for too long because I don't want to raise and be stuck on it. That's the idea for that. This will lower. You rush across, get to this one. Here's where the rocket launcher will be. If I don't get stuck on the platform. Really, game? I'm not going to take that. Thankfully, we have the ability to switch between levels and reset stuff like that. Because it's bloody glitchy. But yeah, I want to rush down here. Get that. Get over here. Open this up. And that's still not enough time. I really want to open it up and then probably run back. God, having the ability not to drop is a pain in the butt. When combined with things that close permanently. Like, it makes Doom very frustrating to not have the ability to drop down a surface. I am glad that's not a thing we have to worry about in the final version. That way now, we've done that. Now we just repeat the process. Wait for it. Okay, now we charge. That. Now we cross. And there we are. Made my way through that pain in the butt. No rocket launcher, surprisingly, here. In the one area that would be predictably have a rocket launcher, it doesn't exist. Over here, press the button. There's our doorway like that. Too small to enter. Get our little treasures. Treasures, not the shinies. And there we are. There's our way back. Come down here. Do we have to wait till the secret level? Is that a thing? Yes, it is. To the secret level. Amazing. All this exists just like it. In fact, at this time, it's the only exit. Of course, it doesn't lead anywhere. That'd be expecting too much of the game. And man, we've already done all that. So let's get to the next level. Oh my god. It's the level from the first version, the first level that we saw, which was what level was this? E2M7, I want to say? But yeah, look at that. It's still the cards from the previous version. It's very, very similar with, everything. Except now we don't have office chairs. But this is the level that is very, very familiar from the previous version, the beta, as this was the most refined level in the previous version. Before now, we've had all these different levels and whatnot. This is the level that really was kind of like defines 0.4. So, very interesting to see it again. Alright, so let's look around. Hi there, random Marines. Just like every other time. Get through it. Not like last time, I'm able to shoot things and pick up things. A lot of progress has been made on this level. Definitely a lot better than the previous version, that's for sure, but still frustrating. It ain't the final version of Doom by far. And the certain flaws with elevated surfaces definitely aren't fun. There's something across the way from something else. So it's like here. What's here? This is where, red key would be in the final version. We're kind of going backwards. But the bay area is where the exit's supposed to be if it's like the previous alpha. This was one of the levels that actually had an exit in the previous one, though it didn't work. I'm assuming this version will work. Because this is probably one of those levels that they want to get done since it was so refined in the last version. It makes sense to begin this level done. This is also map number 11, the cycle, so we're getting pretty close to done. This and 2 more levels, and then E2M1. Can we pick up the shotgun? Yes, we can. We finally got the shotgun after so many levels. We can also press that switch finally. Bam. Which drops the armor. Now, does the shotgun work on enemies? That's the mystery of the day. The rocket launcher didn't, but does the shotgun? And looks like we've done all this and we're starting to head back. That's for the fact that we're missing some of the corners up here. There we are, now it's fully refined. That's not it. Here we are, this is what I wanted. Just that way that was mapped out. Getting little corners sometimes is annoying. But it's that little detail. Die! And yes, the shotgun does work. But we have a lot less shotgun ammo, so not going to be that big of a deal. Especially since it causes the same amount of damage right now and whatnot. But it is a thing, and it does actually function like the rifle. So, better than the rocket launcher, which doesn't function at all. Oh, come on, Doom. Work with me. Okay. That. Okay, let's get through this play level again. I want to see. I think there's an area of the level which causes you to crash. I'm going to ignore most of this stuff just because it doesn't help me with progression at all. We've already seen all of it. I don't need to repeat myself. And I'm getting tired of repeating the same levels over and over and doing stuff that's making no progress. So I think this crashes the game. So that's one severe difference between the fourth beta and this dot 4 and dot 5. Dot 4 was a lot more stable in terms of the levels, but unstable in terms of the engine. This one's more stable in terms of the engine, less stable in terms of the levels. Some of the levels tend to crash. We've learned now not to walk on that nukage. It will crash the bloody game. Every single time, apparently. Based on what I'm seeing. 2 times consistently in a row is enough to tell me to beware a certain area. Now we gotta get through all this again. Kill everyone. Wander aimlessly. Shoot everything that lives. All the beauty. Oh my god, did I just shoot a health pack? Oh my god, you can shoot inventory items as well and make them disappear. They're destructible. That's weird. Very interesting note. So it's not just you can shoot enemies, it's you can shoot anything and make it disappear. That's weird. And potentially deadly. Depending on what you were shooting at. So that's all there, so I could start heading this way. Shoot every little corner. Just that way I can say, you can start heading forward. Because we've seen all this area. God, I hate auto maps because they make me sad way I'm wanting to map every corner. Which in turn makes it take up a bunch more time unnecessarily. Because of my feeling that I need to get map every corner. We don't want to step on that slime, so I'm going to completely ignore that. Then we're just going to head down this way. Or we can look at the slime so that way we can actually get a bit more map than it currently is. Looks horrible at the moment. So I'm going to try and look at every one of them. But we're not going to run down there. Since we know it crashes the game and all. Usually says we can't do it. We may of course have this area to look out of. There's our rocket launcher. Now we have the shotgun and the rocket launcher, so both are possible to pick up. Yay for a second rocket launcher. Now we can see we've been through the dark area. We can start heading towards main section. Okay, towards the blue key area. Here, take these. Start following all the different staircases around. Die. You must die. I also have a button here. Let's push it, even though I don't know what it does. Oh, it opens those doors. We have to get up here to grab these items. It's a little bit weird. And we'll comparison to the final version. That's alright. Now I can start heading back a bit to here, so we can start now going down the staircase. Man, annoying staircases can we go down? Now I remember why I was procrastinating on the series. But that's exactly why I procrastinated for a few days. I needed a break from this because I knew this would be taxing on me. Because, God, this is another terrible version. Better, but still lacking what makes it fun. And just still good for historical reasons. So it's another dull version. Also, by this time, the E1M4 and this level don't seem to have the lockers anymore. They're just straight corridors. So that was removed before Tom Hall left. Interesting. And we have the door here with the area that we see in the final version. These platforms allow us to get down here. Very inconsistent with what I can walk on and whatnot. Like inconsistent with everything else. There we are. Get some ammo. Now we can head out here. We've done basically everything besides that one little corner of the map. Freedom's almost here, people. At least from this level. Then we get the other levels to do. Yay. I think they've added a lot more crates in this version than the previous one. There was really only like a room filled with enemies and like one crate before. Now we have a bunch of crates. Improvements. More crates lying around the room. You'll never be able to beat the enemies with this many crates lying around. And there's still the exit door like I said it would be. So that way we have already seen where the exit is. Let's continue on and deal with the extra area. The little additional area. Just because we can. For all these little side things. Flip this up so area opens here. Got our little goodies down here. Now we can head back up and start dealing with the enemies down here. Now that it's a little bit longer than the previous version, it's more annoying though. How much longer can it be? 3 levels. 3 levels of annoyance and irritation as I just try and make it through them. Some weird colorations on some of these textures right now. That way now we made it through this level. Freedom is mine! Escape! Escape to the doorway! Through the doorway! Run to the hills, kids! We made it out. Where's the doorway? Get out of here. To the hills. There's the button. Complete it. There we are. We're back now in containment area because they seem to love this level. Okay, so this, 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 this. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Whoopsie. This. There we are. Wait a minute. Is this Phobos Anomaly? I think we have Phobos Anomaly, people. Like, oh my god. Here is freaking Phobos Anomaly. I did not think they would have this in this version. I also find it funny that this isn't the final level. It's the version before the the level before the final level of this. This is still another level after it. But this is Phobos Anomaly. Wow. Except a lot more boring. You know, without the secret and whatnot. And without a nice epic corridor. And with this area being extremely long. Why is it so long? Unnecessarily long, unnecessarily dark. This all was not in the final version of Phobos Anomaly. And I'm glad for that, because this is just pitch blackness. I think the corridor is mean enough. I think that's the idea of this. I'd use the gun for lighting, but it only seems to be so much. So, just kind of want to walk through here. But yeah, that's the idea to this. It's going to basically meet up. A lot more dark corridors and annoyance than the streamlined version we saw in the final game. Like, why is all this here? You know, unless we had a light thing around here, like a light amplification visor, this would have not been fun to go through. Just a dark area with a bunch of pinkies unnecessarily. My god, look at this. Here's our slime-based alien Evil 4. And here's the original room for the Barons of Hell. We don't have our specters yet, so they're just regular demons. We don't have our impressive room yet at all. It's like, we have it in template somewhat. And oh my god, it's a Baron of Hell! Die! I just killed one of the bosses. Want to kill another boss? Die. Amazing, I'm proud of myself. I just beat the bosses in 2 shots. And that's it. That's the entirety of this level. Okay, next level. Oh, this is, Deimos Anomaly. So I guess this would have been, like, intended for the final level. Like, you know, Deimos Anomaly, the start of Deimos, whatnot. Instead of how it's basically used as the first one and the other one. Well, let's get through this place. This pain in the butt place to get through. The last level before we have, you know, our little E2M1 area. Not sure if that's going to be E2M1, the actual game, or if it's just its own level. Here's its the little cage like in the final version. Oh, it's just like the final version. There's our little rifle sprites. Man, it looked cartoony compared to everything else at the time. Die, die, die. Shoot them all. I shoot them until they die. Or that's what the strategy guide for this game said. It told me to shoot everything I saw. We also don't have the teleporter area at the beginning of the level, sadly. Oh, well, This is interesting. We have a nice little convenient raised platform. They were being nice to us, instead of forcing us to run across half the slime. Shoot these guys down this corridor. This closes on us just like the final version. But that's okay because we have the button or something over here, right? Through the crusher. Unless the crusher doesn't work. Oh. Well then. This area is completely useless. But don't worry because I could just press the door and it opens anyway. Not much to this area anyway. Run down here. There's the blue door. Bunch of imps. Take them all out. Run over here. Go another ramp. Get all this treasure. Get my high score up. Because, of course, my score is 0 is very impressive. Shoot these guys. Bam, bam, bam. No Baron of Hell, just this guy. Very weak. Blue key card. And this area doesn't lower. So we don't have all these tunnels and whatnot to climb through. We just have the blue key up here randomly. Alright. Well, that's a lot shorter and easier than the final version. Guess they hadn't really worked out all the rest of this yet. In fact, that means a lot of it might actually not function. We actually have to run down here if we're going to check out any of it. Yeah, these areas are like very weird and different. They really don't have much meaning besides being here at the bottom of a platform that you can't really get to. And they have absolutely no items, aren't really relevant. But this area is opened up, just like the final version. We have this area. All our evil demons. Die, 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 die. There's a lot less in this version than the final version for sure. Okay, this area is taken care of. One more. Wait, a what? Game. Okay, we have a problem. This game locks you up in here. There we are. It released me after a bit of time. And that's basically all this, so now we just have the blue door. Through the blue door. Our way of freedom is at hand. We're almost done with this campaign. This is level 13, I believe, so a lot less complex and a lot less to worry about. All we have to do is grab the yellow key and run from no crusher. Alright. Just like the final version, we have the curved area. This side leads to nowhere. We just have to start heading this way. There's our elevator. except that's a staircase. Oh. And the areas that would hold the elevator stuff with the Barons of Hell and all that are not existent. It's a lot simpler. In fact, there are all these side areas here. Can't imagine the corner. There's a corner. And it's just used to get a little bit of treasure. The corner thing does exist here. Amazing. Did not think I would see that corner in this version. Because of how drop-based things work. Missed this doorway. Can't go behind this, so I can't drop down there. We have all these doors, though. This area with the barrels, but we can't cross. So, that's basically useless. Press the wrong button again, people. Gotta be proud of myself for that, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm gonna ignore all you guys because we already did all this. Not like it's gonna help me complete the level or really give me any stats or anything. And I just kind of want to be out of here. Let me get through all this. Because we were near the end of the level and then I pressed the wrong bloody button again. You know, it's not like any of these treasures are going to affect my score or anything. It's just all temporary things. So, just going to run through it as quick as possible. If I can remember where I'm going. The wrong way. Down here. To this door. Keep trying to press F for some reason. I don't know why I want to press F. Already done that little corner, so that way now really we just have to worry about here. We went through the first door. Now it's going to the second door and I hit the wrong bloody button. The infernal button I always try to avoid. And this door's locked anyway. You have to collect this stuff. Now these are open. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Yay, I killed everything. Are you proud of me? I hope so. And this door doesn't open. Still locked. Probably because I believe when you come in here there's a switch. But as you see, I'm walled off from it. So this area is completely inaccessible right now. You can see stuff, but you can't really get to it. So let's just head through here. I already showed off killing these guys, so let's run up here. One of the only areas left. You don't have to worry about pressing buttons to get all up the sequential thing. It's just come up here and get the book. And shoot these two guys. Die, die. Alright, so we're almost out here. Because now, back here, is the exit. Yay. Freedom. It's mine. And this leads to containment area once again, of course. Okay, so can I access the 2M1 from here? This would be... Yep, this is the final level I can do on this side. So, people, I'm going to have to close up this once again. This has been a very weird and fragmented, thing. I'm going to have to chop this up probably into multiple parts anyway. But it's been very fragmented because of all the crashes and whatnot and instabilities of these bloody levels. But We have one more level to check out before I can call it quits. Thank goodness for that, because I'm really getting worn out by this. I just kind of want to get through it just to say it's done. I've checked it out, and that way we can finally get past these alphas. I've started it, so I kind of have to finish it, even if I'm not that big of a fan of it really at all. Anyway, I shall see you all on the other side. Hello again, people. I wanted to just make this little video at the end of it as a little update, just to say there is no E2M1 that is functional. There is one in the WAD file, but it's totally inaccessible, and because the textures don't even really exist in this, it would just cause the game to crash even if we could access it, which is not intended at all. It is inaccessible, so it's not like the previous one where you type it in. I do like the fact that we do get the ability to access the different levels using the plus and minus keys, so we can get past level 9 here instead of, the Doom 0.4 where we had to type in DOS and go back and load it up into manually each time. So that is definitely better. Um, the number of levels definitely didn't make it more fun, but I'm definitely happy that the levels actually have some playability. Most of them, there are still some levels in there that are totally empty, but for the most part, most of the levels have enemies, have items, have things going for them. It's just, lacking sound, lacking enemies actually that will attack you, lacking really any sort of difficulty or anything that makes the game really fun. So, at this point, really, we have functionality in the fact that you can actually do stuff, but it's not fully there. There's a lot of, buttons that don't, work sometimes, and the biggest problem is the inability to drop. That gets annoying really fast. Not it's having that limitation where I cannot drop off a surface just really gets annoying. It feels very clunky of a system. I'm definitely happy that's one thing that they fixed in the final version of Doom, because right now it just feels very, very limiting and frustrating. And it reminds me kind of something that would be like in Wolfenstein or so. So I'm definitely happy we've gotten past that. Also, we have different demo displays. I don't know how we're supposed to load them up, so I don't think I'll be able to show those off. But there would be 4 different little demo displays. Um, and beyond that, it's just the fact of the matter that, yeah, we've done the 13 levels, so it's one more level than it was, before, in the Doom 0.4. A lot of different levels than what we saw, before. Most of them were placeholders. And this one, most of the levels are actually levels that are in the final game, besides, that one level at the beginning. And then there's also that other weird level that I really don't know, that absolutely abysmal giant level. I don't get why on earth they made such a freaking massive level. I don't know why they brought it back in a water, so I guess for nostalgia purposes, but it definitely is not a fun level. I definitely, I'm glad that it's one level that didn't exist, because it feels large for the sake of being large, and at the same time confined in a way that makes it not really fun. It's not like E3M sets where it's open and feels open and makes it for a nice like open based combat. It just ends up feeling, I don't know, the textures didn't look right to me, nothing feels right. So that's that for a case. But beyond that, it's nice for the fact that we're getting some progress on things. Damaging surfaces are nice. It's a nice feature that they're advertising. There aren't damaging surfaces really that commonly, though. It's very few and far between that we actually get a functional damaging surface. And the ones that are damaging surfaces are totally buggy. If you notice, I tended to get injured on things that weren't damaging surfaces more than things that were damaging surfaces, if that even makes any sense. But at least, it does have damaging surfaces at certain points in the level. So that is a thing that is nice. And there was at least one nukage full in the entire campaign that actually worked right. And killed me when it was supposed to kill me. But beyond that, everything was pretty, limited in that regard. I'm glad that they finally fixed up the engine so that way it's not so unstable and crashes every few minutes. But if you notice throughout my entire playthrough, I crash constantly. One, because the fact of the matter, the control scheme is absolutely frustrating because, I have to use the keyboard layout and I can't change the keyboard setup because we're still at the point where we cannot change options really at all. We have like some basic options to change around like view display, but nothing that really can change like the bindings and whatnot, which is something I really need. I miss is the ability to change bindings because using the control key and the alt key to open doors and shoot it sounds good in practice, and for some people it might be okay. But the problem for me is those are the two buttons in between the Windows key, which means that if I accidentally hit the Windows key, DOSBots goes immediately into Windows mode. It basically causes the recording to pause, but also causes the previous video to it stops that one video, starts another video, and will start that one to start running at a lower resolution, and it's just very very clunky. It causes the whole thing to be messed up basically. So basically, it's a pain in the butt button to avoid, and not really an easy button to avoid in this version because, like I said, it's right in the middle and very very easy to click. And it's one reason why I don't try and use said buttons normally when gaming. If you notice, I don't usually try and bother with the Alt key or whatnot to in Doom and all FPS. I try and have it more upper, like the WASD, use the mouse, that type of setup, and have it upwards. Because if I have things by that Windows key, I'm going to hit the Windows key. Just because you're just generally going to hit the key nearby it, by accident or so. And that's what happened a few times, so it ended up being pretty frustrating. I don't like straight being connected with the use key. It makes it a little bit clunky. Doesn't feel right. Plus the fact of the matter that I like spamming it with the mouse more than the keyboard. It doesn't feel right spamming it with the keyboard. Especially with how the movement feels at the moment, where it's like a weird combination of strafing and turning. It just doesn't feel right to me. But in general, it definitely is a step in the right direction. With the fact that it actually is functional with surfaces, things that actually can injure you, with the fact that you can actually kill things with an auto map, which was something I was complaining about last time around, because having maps like containment area, I need an auto map. Not having an auto map makes it pretty frustrating. It ain't the auto map, from GZ Doom, which is a lot nicer and a lot more intuitive for me to use, but it's an auto map. I'm able to, access it and be able to generally determine where I am, which is about the extent of what I need. So as long as that is existent, I'm pretty happy. And it is nice to have the ability to be able to shoot and run out of ammo or whatnot, even if certain maps didn't have enough ammo and I can't exactly use the bayonet and other melee weapons to conserve ammo at this point. So yeah, it it is nice in some ways, limited in others, but we are getting more in the right direction and getting closer to the final game at this point. It is having semi playability. It has playability, it's just not really much challenging. And like I said, also one thing I was going to say, but I ended up forgetting to say, is the instability of certain levels. If you notice, the first few levels we played were absolutely fine. We played them, they had no crashes at all. We just made it through them fine. Then all of a sudden we made it to that one level, with that was pretty much, similar to the alpha one, and we got near the pillars and it crashed 2 times in a row. I wasn't able to replicate that one, so it might be that that one was not actually the fault of the game, or it might just be a certain sensitive area. sometimes it can be very pain in the butt to replicate. But one thing that definitely was a problem was that one level, that was Pandemonium, E3M3. Walking backwards would crash the game. Walking to the door right behind the start would crash the game. So if you hit the back key, you're basically going to doom yourself to crashing it. So that alone is one example of a very unstable level. And then it's like we had the one where walking that nuke slime area would cause the game to crash. And it's like we just started seeing more and more areas where we could crash the game. So it became more annoying as all of a sudden it would be all these areas that would just come up and surprise you and all of a sudden cause the game to crash. Um, it definitely is weird because it's like the .4 beta didn't really crash that much on the levels. The engine crashed, but the levels themselves didn't cause any crashes. So it's rather weird to see the instabilities here with certain particular levels. I guess that in the end of the day, I'd rather have an unstable level than an unstable engine, just because that means that you'll probably have some good levels that don't have said crashes, rather than an engine that is totally going to crash on every single level and get frustrating entirely. But still, a crash is a crash, not exactly the most fun thing, and it'll definitely be nice when we get more stable. Anyway, this has been a long playthrough, going to have to be separated into multiple parts. Thank you very much for watching, people. Thanks that we weren't able to do E2M1, but in a way, I'm also happy as that means one less level I have to worry about. I'm free from this version. Similar to how I said about Doom 0.4, I'm probably not going to worry about ever coming back to this. I'm not exactly a big fan of this, alpha either. It has some playability and it makes sense from a gameplay uh, game making perspective and from the perspective of historical reasons. But for someone looking back at it and wanting, something to like play through or whatnot and see like the different levels, in comparison to like other betas and whatnot that I've played in the past, like the Unreal beta and other particular betas, this, I guess the big difference here is because of the fact that these are alphas, not betas. But that is exactly the thing, because the fact that these are alphas, they're so unstable that they're just really not worth it most of the time. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching, people. I know I've been rambling for this final part, but I just kind of wanted to get some clarification on certain matters, have a good way to finish up this thing. Even though, I've been pretty worn out by the entire thing. I'm probably going to be taking another little break from this series, similar to how I did Doom 0.4. But at least now I can say I'm past it, and hopefully the next version will have sound and actual functionality and be pretty much as close as we're going to get, because the next version I think is the pre-release, and I think the pre-release is functionally the same as the final game in most regards. So I'm probably going to check out the pre-release, just because I've heard it's actually very different. I thought it was practically the same as the final game because it was made almost right before it, but apparently it's going to be very different. So I'll end up looking at it and seeing how it is. I'm not going to worry about looking at individual patches for when Doom comes out and whatnot. That's getting too detailed, too annoying for me. I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's not going to be like Thief, where I would sit down and do every single version of a level and see every little detail that's changed. I'm not that big of a fan at all of Doom. I'm surprised I'm doing as many of these alphas as I am, but I decided why not check them out. And since, it is a good way to, kill some time, have something light and casual to do, it works out. Plus, I started the series with Doom 0.2, so you kind of have to get through the entirety of it now. Anyway, I've learned my lesson on these. I don't, Doom 0.5, still not that fun or interesting to play. So, definitely glad to be past it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. It's been a struggle, and I shall see you all next time.